On this wolf sculpture, and I started out by doing basically a profile on a piece of paper to just get the proportions started. And so now I'm just getting going with getting it doubled up. So it'll be, instead of just almost like a bas relief, a silhouette, we're going to have both sides, both legs. But it's a great way to get started because you get to match up your proportions. And putting it in a pose is more difficult to start with, so we want to just get the proportions right at first. And so I'm just trying to keep measuring as I go and changing anything I need to as I go. That's a little long there, so I'll take that off. Good morning, Mark. So I'll get close up on this so you can see what I'm trying to do. And it just takes a little time. Now, this the details are a little blown out by this light, but I wanted to get everybody excited. I hadn't had a chance. I got my new, it's the Ozbot, there we go, Ozbot camera, which I have to hook up, and that will keep this blown out light problem away from us going forward. So hopefully we're getting improvements. Now look at how I double up. I know this looks so crude to start off, but I double up those legs because it just makes it easier to get it going. And then I'll, of course, cut that center out. But I just wanted to still maintain my, I'm way too long, maintain my proportions. And I'll clip off some of that clay. This takes a little while to build up nicely. So if you don't feel like you're getting anywhere, keep going, because it just does take time to build up to what looks like a real wolf. And you'll see that as we proceed over the next couple of days. Good morning, Frank and Jackie. Hi. So what I'm doing is I'm doubling this all up. And it's very, very crude. Looks like a big wolf cookie right now, I think. And just getting the doubling up of the legs on each side. See how I have it in the middle? So, it doesn't look like anything yet, and it's not going to, not right away. But at least you got started with your side view, and, you got started with just a general idea of what to do. And now we're moving to the next phase, which is to three-dimensionalize it and get it to the bulk you want to have the wolf to have. And it's a little malleable still right now because what I do, there we go, what I'm doing is putting it, okay, I have my clay warmer here with my clay, but I'll take the piece and put it on the parchment paper and put the towel over it, get it warmed up so that I can easily use it, or rather work it, and it's not too hard to work with my hands, because this is the phase where you really want to work it with your hands. It's ideal. And so just getting it bulked up. Yeah, to double up the legs, Frank and Jackie are noting, just to get it like that, because what we're going to do, once we get it right and we check it with our proportions and we shave it back where it's needed, we are going to embed armature. And this is not the pose, so we're not even going to do this pose. I just wanted to use a standard sort of position, like the one we started on. And if you look at day 1 and 2, you can see how we got started by just laying parchment paper on top of this picture. And then, and those pictures are available in the posts on Learn Sculpture. So you can download those pictures and get going. And I will put together a guide. I just didn't have enough, pictures to complete the guide yet, because this is a tougher position to find reference material for. But someone commented, wouldn't it be nice not to have a howling wolf for a change? I mean, This is our goal right here. And with the scary face. Yes, we want intimidating looking face. So, and that's another part of learning sculpture, is learning not just to make a face, but how do we make expressions on the face? That's a whole dimension that we haven't really explored yet. And one of the reasons I wanted to do this piece. So I know it cuts in there. Let me get my calipers out. I don't want to get lost. Always telling everyone not to get lost on these things. And if I go from the bottom to the first indent on that fur, let's see, measure it up. Oh, I'm way off, way off. I need to shorten those legs quite a bit. Okay, then I will. And sometimes, you just need to get drastic. There I go. Now, can you imagine if I had armature in there? You wouldn't want to think about it. So I'm shortening those legs. Let me get the back. Ow! Ooh, I stabbed myself, I think. I hope I didn't do that too hard. Yes, I did. That's okay. All right. No, that's too long. Way too long. All right. Put that off. This is one of those don't do this at home things where you stab yourself with your own tools. So even the tail is too long right now. You just try to, oh yeah, cut that right off. Okay. So that's a little drastic, but that's the kind of thing you have to do if you want it to be right, if you want the proportions to be right. And so we'll go back here and let me do another measurement. The hock, let me show you what I'm doing. The hock area to the foot, all right, right there. And then the hock to the top of the animal, or the top of the tail, I should say. That can come a little higher. But you see what I mean? It's just constantly becoming elastic in your eyes. This is why you constantly go back and measure. Oh, I really stabbed myself there. I'm going to have to put something on that in a few minutes. Oh, okay. I don't recommend really pointy. I just happen to own these for a million years, but you do not need needle points on the end of your measuring tool like I have. I've had a lot of my tools for well over 30 years. So of course, I'm very happy to have these tools, many of which were handmade, but that certainly wasn't. Okay, there we go. The hazards of doing sculpture, right? It's not bleeding profusely, but it hurts. I think I injected myself with clayette. Hi, Cindy. I just looked over and saw you there. So what I'm doing, Cindy, is I'm just making sure I'm bulking this up with more clay and making sure as I go that I'm not going too far away from my picture, this picture here. And it looks very crude at this stage. I was explaining that, but this is how it proceeds. And a lot of the times you'll look at these videos of sculptures online, and it looks like magic. It just kind of goes from one thing to the next, and oh my gosh, that person really just performed a magic trick. But what you don't see is this kind of stage. You don't see these build-up stages because they look bad. It looks like you don't know where you're going. And that's why you shouldn't lose confidence if you're trying this yourself and you see those videos where everyone who's doing something from start to finish and it looks fantastic at every stage. That's not necessarily the truth of it. It's cool to watch, but the real truth of it has to do with these stages where you're, going through and saying, okay, is that right? And you're changing it. And so you just keep going with this. And I'm doubling it up, still working on that. Get some more hot clay. And the clay's pretty darn hot, so I'm ladling it on at first. But that makes it stick better. as you can see. It sticks. And Cindy, I was telling everyone I have a new camera, and I'll have it on for next week. It's right here in this little carrying case. There it is. And what it will do is help so that the highlights are not blown out as you're watching. Which this camera the new camera I've really it's been an improvement, but it's definitely not prevented those highlights from being blown out. You want to be able to see really well on your end, and so that will do that. See, I just bulked it up. Now what we don't have is a picture of the width of the animal, and that I'll work on getting over the weekend. I already got another pose from the front that helps with the width, meaning, this way. There we go, that way. You don't really have a reference for that yet. They're not lessons. Yeah, that's true. Frank, and they're demonstrations, but they're not lessons. You're right. There's videos that show the start to finish, and I know some of those sculptors, and they are very good. Not to take anything away from them, they're very good. But what it doesn't do, it doesn't give you this stage, which a lot of people will give up because they think, oh, that is like magic. There's no way we could ever do that. And you can see how this is very, very crude when you get started. And I'm not as fast as some people either, which is probably helpful to you guys. I know where I'm going with it, but it's not going to be fast. So it looks like I'm taking forever, but that's the process. That's the process that gives you the final result. So it's okay. We are all going to be forgiving of how long it takes. And that way we're going to get something we really are enjoying. First of all, you want to enjoy this process, and you want to know that it's just something that takes time. It just doesn't happen fast. I really love your comments and questions too, because it's I think really fun to do this, and I just want to get everyone thinking they can. Not thinking they can, knowing you can, because you can. So I have this very boring pose. Everybody who has a dog at home can even pose their dog like this. Of course, my dogs are Boston Terriers. They don't exactly look like this. And they don't howl. They make like grunts. They're like bulldog type dogs. So see how thick this is down here? That's very thick. That's fine because you want it to hang together till you start to refine it. And then we'll put those armature pieces in. But also we'll put the armature pieces in once we know where we're going to have that pose. Not until then. So to keep it a little thick is okay. Is there any question you might have? Because I do hope somebody out there will start this on their own and try it. Just try it. And you can see how we're going to go in steps. I'm going to try not to go too far ahead because I don't want to leave you hanging with a step. You go, how did she do that? So I'm going to try to really, oh, there's my alarm. Really try to make it so that you can feel confident in following this. And real quick before we go, I'll just check the height. Not too bad. The height on this side, let's see. Not too bad. Okay, I'm going to need some adjustments, but I'll be getting there soon. So, you have a Spanish sleeping dog? Oh, that's so funny. Well, let me switch to the other camera so I can say goodbye. I love having you guys all here. It's like we're a sculpture club, and I always feel so grateful. So see you next time. See you on Monday, and I'll put those preview, live stream upcoming this time. I'll try to always do that at the end of the week, so you know I'm going to be there. Talk to you soon and see you next week. Bye.